Yes, so the today's session actually we are going to see about that one. So what is the roles and responsibilities of that data engineer, and what is the ETL tool? So what we are going to do in that role. So what we have to do, learn actually. So all these things actually. So we are going to discuss. So that our training actually we are going to learn that Azure data engineering. Okay. So the Azure data engineering we are going to learn. So the Azure data engineer. So here, Azure data engineer, the content, the high level content, I'll tell you. So what are the high level content we are going to see now? The Azure data factory and Azure data bricks. Okay. So here, the Azure data factory. The main purpose, the Azure data factory, we are going to use it for ETL or ELT purpose. So along with the transformation. So transformation actually, so also we can do it using this Azure data factory. And this Azure Databricks, actually, we are going to use it for the, so dealing with that big data. So big data transformation process, actually, we are going to, so big data process, we are going to use this one Databricks concept. So as a data engineer, so at least we should know these two resources in the Azure platform. So Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks, actually. So we are going to learn, so these two are that our primary resources. And the storage wise, what are the storages we are going to learn it now? We are going to learn that one Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage, we are going to learn. And Azure, so data lake storage. So data lake storage and Azure SQL. So database, Azure SQL database, we are going to learn. So connecting with the different resources, the Azure resources and other external resources. Now, what are the resources we are going to see? Azure Synapses and Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB. So we are going to see that on how we can interact with that Azure Cosmos DB from the data factory. And the Snowflake. The Snowflake actually, so we are going to use it as one of the source. So the how we are going to connect to that Snowflake. So from the data factory, we are going to see that one. And the AWS S3 bucket, how we can connect with that AWS S3 and how we can use that REST API. If our source data we are having in that REST API now, so how we are going to interact with that REST API. And so on-premises environment, on-premises. So our data, if you are having the on-premises data center, no? So how we are going to interact with that on-premises. So all these things actually, so we are going to learn. Along with this one, we are going to learn that one, the Azure data flow. Azure data flow. Actually, this is the one what we are going to use it for the transformation. So from the data factory without writing the code. The Databricks, we can mostly the Databricks, we are going to use it for the transformation purpose only. So, but in the Databricks, we have to write the code using that our Python and PySpark codes. Actually, we have to write it. But in the data flow, it's a graphical user interface. So this using this tool, so we can implement that transformations without writing the code. So the data flow also we are going to learn. So to understand all these things actually, so so we will see we will have that our sessions actually it will be in that two way. The first part actually it will be that explanation, the theoretical way, whatever the scenario we are going to see on that day, we will have that theoretical explanation about that one. So followed by that the hands-on. So The topic, whatever we are going to see, first we will discuss about the topic, then we will create that hands-on account. Actually, we will use that one and we will create that pipeline. We will define the logic for the topic. So the hands-on session. So it will be the everything we are going to learn it through the hands-on only. For the use cases, the small like real-time use cases, we will take it. So the use cases only we are going to learn. So through the use cases only we are going to learn this, the course content, whatever we are going to cover. The Databricks purpose. So we will learn the Python. So Python and PySpark. So Python and PySpark. So the Databricks. So the Databricks PySpark is the major role for the transformation purpose. And Python, so it's a programming language. So that programming language based knowledge we need to work in this environment. So we will create that logics, so functions. So we will create using the Python only. So transformation related, SQL related things, we are going to do it using that PySpark and the SQL, the Spark SQL. Spark SQL, we will use it. So all these things actually we are going to learn. So these are the high level content actually. So all these things actually we are going to learn it. Fine. Now here, let's see. So as a data engineer, what we are going to do. So what we are going to develop. So I'll take that small scenario. Here, just imagine I'm having that one of the business application. I'm having that one of the business application here. So this business application having that registration form. So for example, just imagine the institute having that, so online inquiry form. This is like that online registration form. So I'm having the input controls. So here, so I'm having some of the inputs. See, here the users will enter that detail, the first name and the last name, first name and last name. So mobile number, the mobile number and email ID. So then they will submit. So this is that our registration form. So here, whenever they are filling the data and when they're clicking the button, the submit button. So what will be happen now? The submit, when they are clicking the submit button, the data actually it will be stored into the database. The database, it may be anything, but the data will be stored into the database. So we are having the database. So this database will be connected with your front-end application. So you will write the logics. So that logic will help to load the data into that your database. The database actually, here we will have that our tables. We will have that our tables. So here, we'll take this as our database. And this one, we will have that table. Inside of the database, we will have that table. So that table, so it will be that rows and column order. Rows and column order. So this row having header. So this is going to be that your first name. And this is going to be that your last name, and this is going to be that your mobile number, and this is going to be that your email ID. Right? See, when you click that submit button, that every user, whenever they are clicking the submit button, the first name will come here. The first name, it will be come here. That your last name will come here, and mobile data will come here. That email ID will come here. Like this, the every users, whenever they are registering that information, so it will come here. So like this, we will have that multiple users data. So this is one of the way. So the business they are using for getting that information, that users data. This is one of the way. See, we cannot expect all the people will register through the application. Some people, so if you are taking that our training as that our business now, some people, so they will come directly so into the institute. Some people, they will make the call and inquiry the details, right? So those details also, it's my business data. Those details also my business data. Those details also I want to store it. Those details actually, see, for example, you are coming into my institute and you are enquiring the course. So at that time, I will not write the query and I will store your data into my database directly. It is not easiest way to me for managing the data, okay, at that time. So what I will do it now, I will use that, for example, I will use that one. See here, I will use that my Excel. My Excel I'm using. So Excel, I will store your data. So your name, your contact address, so my first name, last name, mail ID, all these things actually, I will store it in that, my Excel data. So because it will be easy to get that information so immediately. So I'm going to use that Excel. So here, Excel, and this is our database. See, both are having my business data. So like this, I'm having different storages for my business data. I'm having different storages. The real-time environment, we will have that multiple storages from multiple environment, multiple locations. Just imagine I'm having the business in different locations, different countries I'm having business. See, so like this, I'm having 3-4 source or 10 sources I'm having. All the 10 sources I'm having business data. Now, what I'm thinking, I want to analyze my business. So here, if I want to analyze my business now, I need all the data. I want to bring all my business data into that one of the destination point, like a centralized data storage. See, just imagine I'm having that one common storage environment, right? This common storage environment is called data warehouse. Actually, it is called data warehouse. See, here what I will have it now, nothing, same table structure only. Here I will have it. Table structure only, I will have it here. So in this table structure, so here, So the data, whatever I'm having in my database and whatever I'm having in my Excel, whatever I'm having my data in that JSON file or CSV file or text file. So different storages I'm having, right? All storages data, I want to bring it into my data warehouse. My data warehouse. Why? Because so I want to bring all the different source data into that one destination point. Into the one destination point. So then only it will be very helpful for me to analyze my business status. Suppose I want to analyze that business data, like the country wise, how is my business? And which country they are expecting, what courses actually they are expecting, right? So in which location I'm getting that more inquiries. And if I'm getting that low, so inquiries from particular locations, now why? So all the things actually I want to analyze it. So to analyze those type of details, I want to bring all business data into that my destination, the data warehouse. But here I'm having some problem. So what is the problem I'm having? See here, the source data, I told you, right? The source data we are having in the different sources. For the source, the data going to be so come from the end user side. We cannot expect all the end users will give that data with a proper format. With a proper format, we cannot expect every end user. They will give, some people they will mention that first name, some people they mention their last name, some people they will not mention that both a name. So either one they will mention. Some people they will mention that mobile number. Some people so they will mention that mobile number with the country code or a city code. So some people they will mention that one email ID, right? Some people they will mention that address. Even that address, when they're entering that address details, the address, all the informations they will fill it in a single line. So your door number, area name, city name, so state name, country name, everything they will fill it in a single form, single text box. Some people they will enter. Suppose if I'm having that my registration form, the address 1, address 2, address 3. So some people will fill all address 1, address 2, address 3 properly. Some people will fill only in that address 1 all the details. So I cannot expect all the end users will give that data with a proper expected format. And some people, when they're entering that mobile number, they may add, I told you, right, STD code or a country code. Along with the country code, they may add that symbol, plus symbol, they may add it. So country code and the mobile number, they may add that hyphen symbol. So different way, every user they are following. But the data, what I'm having, the source side, as it is structure, if I'm bringing now into that my destination, it will not be the proper format. Why? Because now, suppose this database may have that correct format data because I'm having that only 4 fields. So it will have that 4 data types, only it will have it. But the Excel time, some institute, so coordinator, they're entering the proper format. Some institute coordinator, they're entering that. So the all details in the single cell actually. So then what I have to do? Actually, all source data, I want to make it into the common and cleaned format. Common and cleaned format. Right? So here, how we can do that one? To do this one, actually what we are using now, we are using the ETL tools. We are using that ETL tool. Just for example, I'm telling you simple address details I'm taking. Just for your understanding, I'm taking that address details. See, the address having like this one. For example, the data. See here. So they are entering like this one. So number 12, right? And so near metro station. metro station, right? So here Amirpet. So here, and they are mentioning Hyderabad, and they are mentioning state name, Telangana. Like this, they are giving. If my data, so here I'm having the data as a single value, but separator I'm using. The separator actually I'm using. The separator, so available the comma, right? But if my data stored like this one now. So actually, so my company, they're asking, so Hyderabad based inquiry information. So get the Hyderabad based inquiry information. So we will analyze that one. How is the business in the Hyderabad? Some people asking, so some data they're asking, so Andhra Pradesh, some data they're asking Bangalore basis and Chennai basis. So Hyderabad basis, some city name basis, they want to analyze that data. If my data available like this now, so I cannot analyze my business because the data is not in the proper format. I cannot analyze it, right? This data, how should be stored? This data, how should be stored? This data, if it is available like this. See here, my data. So if it is like this. So here, 1 and 2 and 3, 3 and 4 and 5. Right? See here, this is our door number. This is our door number or building number. This is our landmark. So landmark. This is our area name. And this is our state name, city name. This is our city name. So this is on state name. State name. So here I'll have this one. So number 12. And landmark. So near. So metro station. And area name. So Amirpet. And city name, Hyderabad. Hyderabad. And state name. Like this, I'll have the data. The every record, it will be stored like this one. Every record, it will be stored like this one. See, if I'm having the data in this order now, it will be easy to manage for me. The analysis perspective, it will be easy to manage for me. So here, suppose if they're asking city name report, if they're asking city name data, if you want to analyze, yes, I can do it. I can filter the record only the city name. City basis, I can filter. The state basis, I can filter, or area name basis. So from where the enquiries are having, the enquiries location basis, if I want to analyze it, I can do it because now my data in the proper cleaned format. But actual data, I got it like this one. Actual data, so it was like this one only. This data, I got it from the student. So directly from the end user. So who enquired? They entered the details like this. But as it is structured, what they have entered, if I'm keeping the data as it is structured now, it will not be helpful for analyzing my business data. So what I did it now, I did it like this. So how I did it? I changed it. How I changed it? Using that. So technology. So this technology is nothing but the Azure. The technology is called data ETL process. Data ETL process. So ETL. What is ETL? So here, ETL, the ETL. So extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. How I can do this ETL? So for the ETL, actually, we are having a lot of tools. The technology, technical wise, we are having a lot of tools actually we are having. So for example, the Informatica. So SSIS, data stage. Like this we are having. So different ETL tools. So the ETL tool, what it will do? The ETL tool. See here, the ETL tool. Extraction with your source data. With your source data, we will have the different sources. Those sources, so we will interact. The interaction is nothing but connection with your source data. That connection is called extraction. The connection is called extraction. All right. So here, the transformation, I will do that transformation. What is the purpose of the transformation? The simple example, this format to this format changes, right? I have transformed my data from this format to this format. It's called a transformation. So my data, if it is not in that expected format now, I want to change it into the expected format, right? That changes is called a transformation. So you are doing some changes in your business data from one form to another form. So that's called transformation. The transformation we are going to do, so for that our data warehouse expectation format. So once the transformation done now, the data, it will be in that proper cleaned format, what that our data warehouse expecting, it will be in that format. So that data, we can load it into that our data warehouse or our destination, wherever we want to load the data, we can load it. So this is called load. This is called load. So extract, transformation, and load. Extract, transformation, and load. So this is called ETL. The ETL, using this ETL, we can connect with the different sources and we can do that our required transformation. Then we can load the data into that our data warehouse, right? So this type of ETL processing purpose, we can use the Informatica SSIS. SSIS is nothing but SQL Server Integrity Service. So Microsoft product. Informatica Power Center, it's an Informatica product. So Data Stage, it's an IBM product. So like this, we are having the different ETL tools. The data engineers actually, so they are doing so this task. So one environment, another environment, they are so moving the data. While moving the data, they are doing their transformations based on that our business requirement. But nowadays, companies have started to use that cloud platform, right? If my data source or warehouse, if it is available, the cloud environment, if it is available in the cloud environment, see here, just imagine, this is our cloud. This is our cloud. So I'm having the cloud environment. The cloud environment, suppose I'm having my data warehouse. The cloud environment, I'm having that my data warehouse, right? So just imagine this is our on-premises. This is our on-premises, right? So here, my data, I want to move it into that my cloud environment from my source to cloud. See here, these tools, these tools will not help, because this tool we can use it only for the on-premises environment. Only for the on-premises environment, right? On-prem environment. But my source and destination having mixed environment, cloud as well as on-premises, or some other cloud, not only the Azure. I'm having this data, the AWS, I'm having the data, Google Cloud. So Snowflake, I'm having the data, Snowflake, so Cosmos DB, or my on-premises environment, not private environment. I may have that my business data, any of the environments. This tool having restrictions. This is only helpful for only the on-premises. Then what I want to use it. So if you're having that your cloud environment now, you can bring that your Azure Data Factory as well as Azure Data Bricks, right? Using this tool, you can interact with your cloud environment. Using with two, you can interact with your cloud environment. The ETL processing, you can do it. So with your cloud, this cloud, using this two. Using this two, you can interact with your cloud environment. So ETL purpose, we can do it. Transformations, we can do it. So any environment we can interact. Either it may be that your on-premises environment, or it may be that your cloud environment. The same cloud it may be, or different cloud it may be. So with any source environment, you can interact. Almost 90 plus, I think around 100 different sources you can connect using this Azure Data Factory, right? So the data, so whatever we are getting from the end user, right? So the data, we cannot expect all the business data, it will be in that proper cleaned format. So what they will do it now, so as a data engineer, we will define that logics. So to bring this, our business data from the different sources to that one of the, so first level storages, it will be called landing environment. It will be called landing environment. Actually, our data, the actual source data. So it may be in that different sources, like we discussed, that our Excel, CSV format, and so our database, anything, it can be anything. So first, what they will do now, suppose your data warehouse, you are keeping in that Azure platform. We are going to learn the Azure only, right? So just imagine my data, actually my data warehouse, I'm having in that Azure platform. So what I will do it now, immediately, I will not load the data directly into that my data warehouse. First, I will load the data into that, from that our different sources to our cloud environment. The cloud environment is called landing environment. I load the data into that my cloud environment, right? So here, first I will load it. First, I will load the data directly from that environment. So from the different sources to that our environment. From here, actually here, the data, it will be in that as it is, how we are having in the different sources. As it is structure only, it will be there. So from here, so what I will do it. So here, from here, I will move it into the next level. Usually here we are using the delta algorithm. The delta algorithm actually it will be like this one. So landing, bronze environment. From the bronze environment, we will move it into that silver environment. From the silver environment, we will move it into that our gold environment. That gold environment, so it will be that our data warehouse. It will be that our data warehouse. So here the data. So here bronze to some my silver environment. My silver environment. The silver to semi gold environment. Like this, we will move the data. So when we are bringing to here, so meanwhile here to here, we will do that validations and transformation, and here to here also. So we will do that one. So validation and transformation. Then we will load the data into that our final destination. When we are getting the data into this environment, the data, it will be in that cleaned structure format, proper cleaned structure format. So this will be here only, you will have that your data warehouse. From here only, you will take your data into that your analysis purpose. So the data analysis purpose. So you will follow that, you will use that reporting tool. So you will use that reporting tool like a Power BI. So here, so we will have that reporting tool. So that reporting tool will be connected with your data warehouse. So using this reporting tool, you will do the analysis and report report development. You will do it here only. So this is the part of that. So Azure data engineering. So data engineering, generally data engineering. If you are using all this flow in that your Azure platform now, so it's Azure data engineering. So go AWS, Amazon data engineer. So Google Cloud, anything cloud data engineer generally. So right. So here our business data transforming in this way only. Our business data transforming in this way only from one format to another format. So all these things, who is taking care of it now? The data engineer is taking care of it. The responsibilities, the data, what we are having in the source and what we want to get it in the report. So into that format, if we want to change that our data now, so how we are doing now, using that technical, so these tools, using the technical tools like that, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, like this, the ETL processing, then all the transformations, everything we are doing here, right? So the every data engineers, they are working for this type of the transformation, so flow only. Got it? So yes, we are also going to learn for this task only. So how we can do this task? For this purpose only, we are going to learn all these things. The Azure Data Factory, Databricks. In the Databricks, how we are going to use that Python, PySpark. Storages, how we are going to use that Blob storage, data lake storage, SQLDB, and different resources, Synapse, data warehouse, Cosmos DB. It's a NoSQL database. Snowflake, it's a cloud data warehouse. And AWS S3 as another cloud. The REST API is one of the way where we are having the data in that our web portal, on premises, our local server, our private server. So all these things actually, so we are going to learn for this purpose only. So is it clear to you all? Actually, what we are going to learn, how we are going to learn, all these things just we discussed now. So what will be that our actually role? So that roles and responsibility once you joined as a data engineer. Actually, what you're going to do now, you're going to do these things only. Now tell me, so are you got it? So what is the roles and responsibility of Azure data engineer or not?
Yes, sure.
So any doubt on this one so far, what we discussed? Any doubt or you feel anything? So I'm not able to understand what is this one. I feel anything, the difficulties to understand this.
No issues so far.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
So,
have a question.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we come across data pipelines, data integration,
Mm.
so where we do that?
The pipeline, this ETL part here only, we are creating the pipeline. For the ETL,
Okay.
we are going to do something, right? We are going to do something. We have to do something, right? That something is nothing but
Yeah.
we are going to create that pipeline. The integration service is
Okay.
nothing but this ETL process is called integration service.
Okay. Yeah.
Our primary one is we are going to learn how we can create the pipeline. That is our primary one. Everything we will see it in that our hands-on time. We will see it everything.
Got it.
Yeah. Any other questions? So session was understandable or the way of delivering method is understandable or not? Because the same way only I'm going to so explain that all the regular sessions.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, what about others?
Yeah, sure. It's quite
Yeah, sure. Very nice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so today's part is just introduction part only, just the theoretical part only I thought to discuss with you. So I hope you have now some idea about that one. There's Azure data engineering part. So that our next session. So I'll show you that one. Actually, what is cloud? Why the companies are choosing cloud and Azure cloud? How we can use it? All these part actually, we will see it in that our next session. Usually, first 2-3 classes, it will be in that theoretical way only, because first we should know what we are going to learn it. So after that only we have to go with that our hands-on part. So tomorrow I'll show you that portal, how we can create that on pipeline. Simple, just the platform I will show you. So and slowly we will get into that our hands-on session from the 3rd or 4th classes. Right. So that's all for the day. Tomorrow session, we will discuss about that cloud computing concept.